Hello and welcome to All Things Seniors. This is your host, Rafiq. I have over 20 years of caregiving experience, and on this channel, I empower other caregivers one episode at a time. Caregiver burnout is almost a universal thing. Pretty much every caregiver at a certain point in their caregiving journey feels that way, or sometimes they don't know that they are being burnt out, and there are symptoms, others see it, caregivers feel it, but they don't know to label it or to call it that yes, they are burnt out. And unless there is, in a way, kind of a diagnosis that yes, I am burned out, how do you even know to fix it, right? So today I thought that we'll share with you what are some of the key things that if you feel that way or others see that in you, most likely you are right now in a burnt out state. And what are things that I have learned over my caregiving journey and I've learned from others, which I can share with you today towards the end of the episode, which will hopefully help you as well. So let's first talk about some of the symptoms and signs of a caregiver burnout. Let's start. So there are four key things which happen in a caregiver in the burnt out state. The very first one is a constant state of exhaustion. Even if you feel that I have rested, I have had a good night sleep, but next morning when you wake up, you don't feel like doing the caregiving tasks, or you still feel exhausted. It's not about the sleep, but it's about maybe the work that you don't feel like doing, and the exhaustion that you are feeling is coming out of the constant grind that caregiving is, unfortunately, sometimes, right? And if that's the case, if the physical rest, if finding that off time is not getting you over the line, or it's not making you feel any better, that constant exhaustion is number one sign of caregiver burnout. So if you are feeling that way, that's the first red flag. So let's see if there are other signs or not, but feeling exhaustion all the time, constantly, is your number one sign. The second sign is losing our patience like in a snap, very rapidly. That state of frustration where you are almost at the edge and the smallest thing happening takes you over the edge. It could be very small thing which would otherwise not warrant maybe a frustrated response from you, or an irritated answer, or something negative that you would just blurt out. But in a moment where you are actually burned out, that feeling is coming from inside, the smallest of things would feel like a trigger. Like I'll give you my example. When I spend time with my parents, especially with my dad, for whom I'm the primary caregiver, most times I try to go in a conversation expecting some of the things that he would say. That is something that I have learned over the years. We did an episode earlier as well as to how expecting things will help you prepare for those conversations. But still there are days when I am in that burnt out state, and something which my dad would otherwise say every day, and I am expecting those things. So on a usual basis that won't affect me, but the day when I'm feeling burnt out, or that week where it is extremely difficult, you are in that state, the same sentence that my dad would otherwise say, which is not bothering me, that particular burnt out day, that would put me off, not in a good way. So on that day, what I would do, I would blurt out something or say something negative, and that's not good, right? That's, at the end of the day, that will not help my relationship with my parent, and similarly with you, for your loved one. So if we are feeling exhausted all the time, if we are feeling frustrated, feeling on the edge, again, another sign of being burnt out. So two. Let's see what the third one is. Now, this third one is very important. In this third symptom, you'll find yourself being isolated. As a caregiver, that's the worst thing that you can do for yourself, because many a times the person to whom we are providing care for, whether it is our parent who has limited mobility, or our grandparents, or our kids, anybody whom we are providing care for, there are most often times when they have limited mobility, or they are actually somehow isolated from their lifestyle, and we are the ones who are bringing that normalcy in their life. But if we, because of the caregiving role that we are playing, become isolated from our friends, from our hobbies, from the things that would bring joy to us, that loneliness would creep in very slowly. You would start missing out on those soccer evenings or pickleball games, or stop going out for movies with your friends. That once a month, maybe some kind of a friends night out, or once a year reunion, whatever that is. We stop doing things good for ourselves because we always say, I have to be here. In that negativity, that sagging feeling, that's the third big sign of being burnt out, because now in a way you don't have even energy to go out and energize yourself. Imagine how long will a car go if you don't stop for refueling yourself, and that's a big sign of you feeling burnt out, that you don't even have time to stop and refuel yourself. So constant exhaustion was our sign number one. Feeling frustrated is number two. And number three big sign is when we stop taking those moments of refueling for ourselves. If you're liking or if it is helping you, this content, like this episode, subscribe to the channel. YouTube will then show it to other caregivers. Hopefully we can help more people. Okay, so point number four, I've told you that there are four big things, right? And this is in a way connected to item number three, in a way you not doing things that would refuel yourself. But in a way this even goes a further step, that you don't take care of your health. So point number four is you stop taking care of your health, meaning you're not even getting proper meals, or because of your caregiving routine you don't have enough time to sleep, or your care for your emotional health by pausing, or your mental health by listening to that music or that podcast. Whatever that recipe for your health is, if there are key ingredients missing, whether it's healthy meals or healthy breaks, if you don't have that, it will have a huge impact on your caregiving journey. Okay, so these are some of the key symptoms of you feeling burnt out. If you're feeling some of those things, some or all, you are in that state. I was there too. Pretty much every caregiver goes through this journey. So what helped me? In my life, I have a couple of people around me who are very close to me, like my wife, my sister, who are in a way people without whom I will not be able to do my job of being a primary caregiver. So the first thing that I have done is I have asked them to keep an eye on me. Yes, I play the role of the primary caregiver, but in a way they keep an eye on me, and they look for those signs. If I feel frustrated or exhausted or irritated, we have agreed on some words which, if they tell me, I will take it on face value without being offended. Like, for example, if my sister says, you know what, I'm not judging you today. I know it must be very tough, but I'm reminding you that today your tone is a bit negative. Or my wife would, we use this analogy of a rope. Like my wife would say that, hey, I'm not saying anything negative, but I just want you to know that I want to play the role of your rope so that you can come out of the pit. And when they, like my sister or my wife, they would use these agreed upon words, we talked about it. So when they use these agreed upon words, it reminds me that this is not a conversation about me being negative. This is a conversation about me being right now burnt out, and both of them are helping me. My sister, my wife, they're using the pre-agreed words of the rope, or hey, not trying to be negative, the words that we talked about. And they will help me, remind me of the fact that I have to take care of myself, to recharge, to refuel. See, we always say we can never pour from an empty vessel. And as a caregiver, it is our number one responsibility to take care of ourselves. And number two responsibility is to take care of our loved one. If the order is reversed, we will never get to ourselves. The number one priority has to be us. Always remember, when you are sitting in a flight, they say, get the mask first, take care of yourself. You can never take care of the person next to you or your loved one if you are not taken care of. So that has helped me a lot, people around me, and agreeing some words so that they can remind me. What has helped you? Write in the comments what has helped you, so that I would love to learn from you and other viewers as well. So that's today's thing, a brief summary. We talked about 4 things as a sign of burnout. I shared one thing with you that has helped me. Please let me know what has helped you in your caregiving journey, in a way helping you out, coming out of that burnt out state. In the end, we always say a rested caregiver is a better caregiver. So take care of yourself so that you can better take care of your loved one. Very good to have you today here, and I'll see you next week. Ciao.